Okay, evening everyone, welcome to press conference ahead of tomorrow's match with PSV. There's no translation, so we are ready to go. Kick off with Andy.
Yeah, the only one that's missing is Kieran Dow, who's still got this slight problem with his knee, but it's not a big problem. This game was just too soon for him.
In terms of what this match means to yourself as a manager, has only just been in the job a matter of months, what would it mean to take your team into the Champions League if you can get a result tomorrow night?
Yeah, obviously it would be huge. It would be huge for the club and the fans first and foremost, and this group of players that are desperate to play in that competition again. Naturally, for me and the staff, we're obviously, that's the aim, and the aim coming into pre-season, we have a huge test in front of us to see that be a reality.
There's been a lot of commentary from the Dutch side. Some of the pundits over here seem to be writing your team off. How do you react to that? What sort of message do you take from that and send to your players?
No, it's fine. Listen, we expect it. The other team needs to be confident. They're in their home stadium, and the first game was a draw. We don't read too much into that. We know that we have to perform, I feel, better than we performed last week if we want to go through. This team is due a big performance, so it's there. The opportunity for us is clear.
Josh?
Michael, how do you strike the balance between going for this game and attacking the spaces and recognising how strong PSV might be in the early stages and trying to keep the game tight for a while? How do you strike that balance with your team selection tomorrow?
Well, the team selection won't be too far from last week. There won't be too many surprises, but across our squad, we do have a variety of options in the final third. We need to be better with the ball this week. I think we created chances regardless last week from the small amount of possession that we have compared to normal. But no, going away in Europe, you know you're going to need to be strong defensively first, and then you have to take your opportunities when they come. I believe that this is a game where both teams will have opportunities, and it's the team that's the most decisive that will go through.
And just a question for Todd. Todd, how big an incentive is it for you personally? You got a taste of it last week, but to play in this competition, how big an incentive is that for you?
Yeah, I don't think there's any secret. You know, it's every player's dream to play in the Champions League. And you know, we had a little taste of it. We've had the playoffs now, and yeah, we're looking forward to tomorrow night.
Michael,
PSV have been trying to kind of play down the significance of last year's tie, but I just wonder if you were to score first or take the lead at any point, do you think that might unnerve them?
I think their crowd will be behind them, just like ours was at Ibrox. Now, that can do one or two things. I felt last week at times we were a little bit emotional in the game, so it can unnerve you as much as it can be a big help. I think the coaches have changed for both teams, and there wasn't many players last week who were playing that was involved in those games, but I'm sure everybody is aware of what happened, and the motivation for this game is equal as last year. I don't see it being any bigger on both sides. I think there's been a lot read into that, but the group of players that are going out there, the prize of getting to the Champions League is enough.
You seem very calm just now. Are you able to be clear-headed about the tie, or is it exciting as well for you?
No, it's a hugely exciting week if you're a Rangers player and you're a Rangers follower, and I'm no different as the coach. You know, the two games we've got coming up now in the next 4 or 5 days is what it's all about, playing for this club. If you can't enjoy it and you can't, seize the opportunity that's in front of you, then you probably don't deserve to be at our club. This is a huge moment. It's important that we give this game everything. It's a final, if you like, in that sense.
Robert.
Michael, the team last year got a bit of a kind of hostile welcome when the buses arrived, a bit of a delay for the team. Gio was really unhappy about it. Have you been given assurances by PSV or UEFA that won't happen again?
There's been talks in the background about that. There was a problem with one of the buses, but listen, we think that was just on that night, so we don't envisage any issues. PSV have been playing in Europe for many a year. It's a high quality club, so we trust on their organisation for sure.
I was going to say as well, do you think there's more pressure on PSV given they're kind of at home in the second leg? Is there more pressure on them?
Well, they have a home game to win to go in the Champions League group stage, so they'll be supremely confident of that, I'm sure. We have to be the thorn in the side.
Mark?
Michael, how valuable has the last week been in terms of obviously a good weekend performance and getting the squad gelled that bit better? Do you feel you're in a stronger position now than you were even just last week for the first leg?
Yeah, well, obviously with about 14 or 15 players moving on this summer and 9 new players coming in, the more games you play, you think your team will get stronger. And so it was a good victory at the weekend. It was a clean sheet. It was a step in the right direction in the league, and I was pleased with that. And sat here now without no injuries and everyone in a good place mentally, I think it was the right thing that we played. I think it's to our advantage that we played at the weekend.
I could just ask Todd, you were talking obviously about the Champions League being a dream for every player. I wonder, just given your career's trajectory, Todd, when you were obviously linked with a lot of big clubs early in your career, did you ever think the chance might have passed by for you to become a Champions League player?
No, I don't think so. No, as a player, you've got to believe in yourself, believe in your abilities. And yeah, for me, I would speak for most players in the change room. You want to play in these competitions. So yeah, no, it's just an excitement for me. I
mean, your commitment to Rangers has been obvious since you arrived. Do you think those difficult seasons you had have almost given you, not to make up for lost time, but giving you that extra bit of impetus to make sure you maximise the opportunity you have at Rangers?
Yeah, definitely. You certainly want to maximise your opportunities that you get. You shouldn't take any for granted. And you're right. Every game at Rangers is a big game, an important game. I think as a player, it's your responsibility to show that.
Andy again.
Hi Todd. The players last year, the scenes in the celebration in the dressing room, everyone saw the pictures of it. I just wonder what the boys in the dressing room have said to you about that night and how they felt and what impacts that had on yourself.
Yeah, no, that's the past. So we don't want to focus on that. That's what happened last year. We can leave other people to think about what happened before. For us, that changes nothing tomorrow night. It doesn't matter who won last year tomorrow night. It matters about who wins tomorrow. So for us, there is no focus on what's happened before.
Is the way the game panned out last week, you didn't have all that much possession. Does that just sort of reinforce the idea that when big chances come tomorrow night, you're really going to have to take them?
Yeah, no, definitely. In this competition, you're going to play against good teams. You're going to play against teams that have the ball, and it's important that we then show that we've got another side to us, which is, we can be in good shape and we can hurt on the counter. And I think we showed that last week. And I think all good teams have both to their capabilities, playing with the ball and obviously being a danger without it.
Any more questions? Thank you very much, everyone.